I don't know if you've ever talked about this or if you ever think back to this, Mello. 2011 All-Star game in LA. It's a few days before you get traded to the Knicks. I was told about a meeting that took place. You know what meeting I'm talking about?
Which one? There's a couple.
Um, a meeting that included the Knicks owner, Jim Dolan,
Yep.
uh, the Nuggets, including at the time, your GM, Masai Ujiri,
Yep.
you, like Leon Rose, who was your agent then, obviously now the president of the Knicks, Bay Frazier,
Yep.
your longtime friend, manager. There was a meeting that was, okay, are we going to get this thing done, right? All-Star Weekend in LA. What do you remember about that?
Everything. I remember everything about it. Going into All-Star Weekend LA, it was at this point in time, we had already had previous conversations with Denver going into the season, like around July, and we met with Denver, and Masai had just came on as a GM. And at this point in time, now I'm starting to understand, okay, who's leaving, who they trying to trade, what players they want to bring in, who's not going to be here, contracts is expired, how the team is just going to be broken up at this point in time. So in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to be a part of. We just came off of Western Conference Finals. Like, I don't want to be a part of rebuilding. I don't want to rebuild in my seventh season in the NBA. So if you guys want to rebuild, it's cool, but let's work something out. Let's figure something out. And that was the conversation we had in July. So fast forward to the beginning of the season, and I have to go back to Denver. That never was supposed to happen. I've never even supposed to step foot back in Denver prior to media day. So I go back to media day, and I'm here. I'm just going to play whatever it is, it is. And then we get to All-Star Weekend, and it's like everybody is just, where's he going? What team is this? What team is this? And I think Denver was feeling a little bit pressure at that point in time, with Masai just being new to it and him coming on board so late when I think the decision was already made. And it was talks about, George Karl, they wanted to send me to Utah. They had deals with Utah on the table for like Derek Favors, and George Karl was in love with Derek Favors at that point in time. Derek Favors and somebody else, and it was a Laker deal supposed to be on the table, and I think it was like Lamar Odom and Bynum or somebody like that as part of the deal. So those was talks, but then you have New Jersey Nets at this time, and they're going full throttle, and New York comes in at the 25th hour, and we have a meeting with New York, the infamous meeting, 3:00 in the morning. And it's just like, what are we going to do? Like, at this point, we have to really make this decision. We have to figure this out. If New York is going to be the place, we might as well just sit down, break bread. Let's figure this out, and let's make this happen. And a lot of the antics that happened throughout that meeting, I don't want to get into details with that, but that will probably be one of the most memorable meetings I've ever had.